Hello everyone, Denise here. Today I'm doing the Paying It Forward Friday stitch flat for, what are we on? March 2024. So this is the Regina Cardi. You can make this with long sleeves. You can make this longer on your torso. You can make a belt for it. You could do lots of things. I go over all of that in the video. If you want to make a blanket out of this stitch, I will show you the stitch and the repeat. You could do a scarf. You can do any project you want made flat. So I show you how to make the cardi. So let's get started on the materials I use and all that good stuff. The materials that I used are some Caron cinnamon swirl cakes. This is at Michael's. There are a million colors of this. It has a lot of yardage too. It has 407 yards, 372 meters. It is 100% acrylic. It's 8 ounces, 227 grams. It's a medium 4. Calls for an H8 or 5mm hook. And this is chocolate swirl. So depending on the size that you're making will depend on how many of these that you need. The extra small / small size is about 1 cake. So if you are bigger than that, you will need more than 1 cake. Also, if you have something that will complement this yarn, if you want to do any section in this different, or maybe stripe, whatever you want to do, use scrap yarn if you have it. So the hook I used was an O-Fire hook. I am affiliated with O-Fire. I will link my affiliate link below. This is June's birthstone, Alexandrite. Super pretty. So let's talk a little bit about sizing. Sizing is depending on how you want the garment to fit. So we're going to chain multiples of 10. If you are making this for yourself, you can take your own measurements. If you need measurement sizes and you don't know, I will put a general list below of sizes and you can go by that. You'll need to measure your width of your shoulder to shoulder, and then how long you want it to be on you. So when I made mine waist length. So you need to measure your shoulder to waist or hip area, however long you want yours to be. And that's how many rows you will go up as you're working. The multiples of 10 will be how wide you're making it. So depending on how you want it to fit, maybe you want it to have positive ease, which means it's loose on you. Or maybe you want it to have negative ease, which means it will be more form-fitting on you. It just depends on what fit you're looking for. If you want it to fit you perfectly, then you need to take this measurement here, and then you need to chain as many as you need for your back piece, and then chain half of that for your front piece. So when I did mine, I chained 20 for the front piece, each front piece, and for the back piece, I chained 40. So it just depends on how you want yours. So if you wanted positive ease, then you would chain enough to extend beyond your shoulder, and then it will be loose fitting on you. You know, it will drape down. If you want a negative ease, come in just under that. Come in underneath. Or if you want negative ease, but you still want to use whatever hook that you planned on using, maybe go down a size in yarn or go down a size in crochet hook. It all depends on how you want it to fit on you. Positive is loose, negative is form-fitting, and we'll call it just right when it fits you just right. So I am going to chain 20 for my sample. That is what I used on my model. And so that is one front panel for me. Once my front panel was done, I had a measurement of about 17.5 inches with my edging. So you can see this is 20 inches using an H hook. If you're not blocking, which I have not done, and I'm not going to do, got about 6 inches wide there. So you can do your panel. If it's not enough and you want to add more, go ahead and do another panel. Do whatever you need to do to get your size. This is 20 stitches. So if you're looking for something smaller than this, 10 is your next size down. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. Your other option would be to create a very large border on your piece. So I'm going to start with 20 for my chain. Let me get my yarn here. I picked more of this yarn up at Michael's because I really like this yarn. I will find the end. Okay, starting with multiples of 10. I'm going to do 20. Okay, I have 20 chained. First row, we're just going to do a row of single crochet. So we are going to put a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So this is the first chain, this is the second chain. Single crochet, go into our loop, we yarn over and we pull through a loop, and then we yarn over and we go through 2. We're going to do that in each stitch all the way across. That is our row 1. Row 2, we're going to chain 1, turn our work. This is where we're going to do a standing double crochet. It's not scary, I promise. It's really easy. Go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, you made a single crochet. Now you're going to go into this leg right here of the stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull up another loop. You're going to yarn over and go through 2. That is a single crochet on top of a single crochet, which we call a standing double crochet. Easy peasy. Next, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to skip 2 of our stitches. So 1 and 2 we're skipping, and then we're going to put a single crochet in the next stitch. Now we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip 1, and we're going to put a single crochet in the next. Now we're going to chain 3, we're going to skip 2, and we're going to put a double crochet in the next. Now we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip 1, and we're going to put a double crochet in the next. Now we're going to chain 3, we're going to skip 2 and put a single crochet in the next. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip 1, and and we're going to put a single crochet in the next. At this point, if you have chained more than 20, because I did 20, I'm at the end of my row. If you have done more than 20, you would do the repeat just like we were doing it. You would chain 3, skip 2 stitches, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet in the next, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, single crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the next, until you get to the end of your row. Then once you get your last single crochet done, you will chain 3, skip 2 stitches, and put a double crochet in the last. Okay, that's your row 1 and your row 2. Now we're going to go on to row 3. Row 3, we're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet in that same stitch or space as our chain 1. And now we're going to chain 3. And now we're going to do our double crochet cluster stitches. Yarn over, go into your chain 1 space here, and we're going to start our double crochet like we normally would. And we're going to yarn over and go through 2. And normally we would yarn over and go through the other 2 to finish a double crochet, but we're not going to do that. We're going to yarn over, we're going to go back into that space, yarn over, pull up, we're going to yarn over and go through 2 more, and now we're going to yarn over and go through 3. That's our first 2 double crochet cluster. Chain 1 and do another one of those. So yarn over, go into your space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, stop, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3, chain 1. We're going to do 1 more of those. Yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, get 2 loops left on our hook. We're going to yarn over, go into the space again, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3. We have 3 2 double crochet clusters, and now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Going to go over to our next chain 1 space over here, and we're going to put a single crochet. We're going to chain 3. We're going to go over to our next chain 1 space, and we're going to do the same thing that we did over here. We're going to do 3 of them with a chain 1 in between. So yarn over, go into your space here, your chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3, chain 1. Let's do another one of those. Yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3, chain 1. 1 more. Yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3. Now, again, if you have chained more than 20, you're going to continue your repeat. You would chain 3, and then you would find your next chain 1 space and put a single crochet in it. Then you would chain 3, and you would do your cluster stitches, and once you got down to the end, you would chain 3, find your last stitch over here. Ours was a standing double crochet, so you find the top of your standing double crochet, which is, it's essentially a single crochet, and put a single crochet in that. And that is your row 3. Okay, moving on to row 4. Row 4, we're going to chain 1, turn your work, going a single crochet in the first stitch as our chain 1. We're going to chain 3. And now we're going to put a double crochet in our first chain 1 space. So remember, we had a cluster stitch, chain 1, cluster stitch, chain 1. We're going to put our double crochet right there in that first chain 1 space. Double crochet. Now we're going to chain 1, and in our next chain 1 space we're going to put another double crochet. And now we're going to chain 3. Go over to our single crochet over here, and on each side of that single crochet we have a chain 3 space. We're going to put a single crochet in that first chain 3 space. Just go around the chain, make a single crochet. Now we're going to chain 1, and in the next chain 3 space put another single crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to repeat what we just did. We're going to put a double crochet in our first chain 1 space there, chain 1, find our second chain 1 space, put a double crochet there. If you have any more stitches, you would do that repeat. You would chain 3, find your next chain 3 and put a single crochet in it, chain 1, single crochet in your next chain 3. Then you would chain 3, double crochet in your next chain 1 space, chain 1, double crochet in your next chain 1 space. Once you get all the way to the end of your row, you chain 3, and in your last stitch put a single crochet. I like to put my single crochets in the previous rows, sort of chain 1. If I went into the single crochet, it would be here, and that'd be fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I always have a habit of going into the chain 1. I just think it gives it a cleaner edge, but it's totally optional. It does not matter. Moving on to row 5, we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work. We're going to do a standing double crochet in that same stitch or space as our chain 1. So do a single crochet right there. Then go into this leg of your single crochet and do another single crochet. And we're going to chain 3. We're going to put a single crochet in the next chain 1 space. We're going to chain 3. We're going to do our cluster stitch now. We're going to do 2 double crochet clusters, chain 1s in between. So yarn over, go into the chain 1 space there, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3, chain 1, another one, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through all 3, chain 1, one more, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3, chain 3, single crochet in your next chain 1 space, chain 3, and if you're not at the end, do the repeat. Otherwise, at the end of this one, we're doing a double crochet. And that is our row 5. Row 6, we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to do a standing double crochet. So go into that same stitch or space as your chain 1 and do a single crochet, and then go into this leg right here of your stitch and do another single crochet, and then you will chain 3. You can see here, if you know what we did last time, that we had chain 3, and a single crochet in the middle. We put a single crochet in the chain 3, and then we chain 1 and put a single crochet in the next chain 3 space. Then we will chain 3, and in our next chain 1 space, we'll put a double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet in the next chain 1 space. Chain 3. Put a single crochet in your next chain 3 space. Chain 1. Put a single crochet in your next chain 3 space. And chain 3. If you have more stitches than I do, keep doing that repeat till you get to the end of your row. And at the end of your row, we're going to put a double crochet in your last stitch. So find your single crochet that's on your standing double crochet right there. Put a double crochet in it. And that is our row 6. So now, to keep going on the project, you would repeat row 3 through 6 until you get to the length that you desire. I'll bring my piece back in. Mine was 17.5 inches. I did the border around it. So if this is your front piece, you're making 2. If it's your back piece, you're making double whatever your front piece is. So if you did 30 on here and 30 on another side piece, you'd want to do 60 on your back piece. I did 20 and 20 and then 40 on my back piece, and that fits the model pretty darn good. So go ahead and complete your repeat row 3 through 6 to the length of your project, and then I'll be back with you to do a single crochet border around it, and then we'll talk about joining. Okay, so end on a row 6. When you're done with the length of your work, that would be the last row of your repeat. So ending on row 6, this is how you would finish out your piece before putting them together. So you just finished row 6. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to put a single crochet in your first stitch here, just like you've been doing when you do. Then you're going to put 3 single crochets on your chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Now, where you normally would do your cluster stitches, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So 1 half double, 2 half doubles. I'm going to do 3 single crochets on this chain. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put 2 single crochets between our double crochets there, that chain 1 space. 3 single crochets on this chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. 2 half double crochets on this chain 1 space where you would normally have your cluster stitches. 3 single crochets on your chain 3 there. 1, 2, and 3. And then 1 single crochet in your last stitch. If you do it that way, you will end up with the same stitches on this last row that you started with on your first row. So I started with 20 and I'm ending with 20. So then moving along to the side, In every corner stitch, you want 3 single crochets. So there's 1 in this one, so I'm going to do 2 more. And then along the side here, I usually put wherever the hook goes in, nice and easy, I'll do a single crochet. And if you want to count down the side how many you're putting in, then you can repeat that on the other side. But I just go in, make sure you don't add too many stitches or too little. Too many will create a ruffle, too little will create a pucker. Just want to make sure you hit pretty evenly down the side with single crochets. When you get to the corner, do 3 in the corner. So I will meet back up with you once we get a single crochet around all of your pieces, your 2 front panels and your back panel. Okay, so this is mine on my mannequin. I'll show you the side. This is the side view. So the side needs to be seamed up, and there's a couple of ways you can do it. Obviously, you can seam it like you normally would. That is how I'm going to do the shoulder. I'm just going to normal seam that. The side, I think I might do a crisscross or a shoelace type of seam, and that is when you take a chain and you thread it in and out of the side. That gives you an allowance for how wide your side will be, and then you can make it, you know, the negative and positive ease that I was talking about. Otherwise, you can go ahead and seam up. Just make sure you're giving yourself enough of an armhole to get your arm in. But other than that, that's how I'm going to seam mine up. And then I'm going to put a simple border around the front of mine, starting down here at an end and then going up and around the neck area. And I'll come back to you in just a little bit to show you that. I'm going to seam up my sides. If I don't just seam the side and I do the crisscross, I will show that to you. And that is my side sewn up. So I'm going to do the other one the same way. Okay, I just need to weave in some ends and then I can do the okay, border. So the border, I am going to start at this corner and I'm going to work up around the neck area and back down here. You can do as many rows of this as you want. Essentially, I'm going to start with a double crochet. I'm going to do a standing double crochet on the corner here, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in each stitch all the way up, all the way around, all the way back down here. If you want to do single crochet, half double crochet, any other stitch that you desire for your edging, you sure can. Very simple. I'll give you a highlight here in a second when I start, and then as I do each row and round. Rejoining my yarn to the middle of the 3 single crochet in that corner. I am going to do a standing double crochet right at the end. Chain 1 to secure that, and then do a single crochet in that same stitch. And then go into this loop right here, just like we were doing, and do another single crochet there. Now I'm going to do a double crochet in each stitch, all the way down. All the way down the neck, around to the other side. So I will see you in just a minute when I get to the other end. If you wanted to, you could just leave it with this edging and then do the arms the same way, or do the arms in a single crochet. You can edge it however you want. I think what I'm going to do is maybe fill in some of these stitches with some front post double crochets as I go along, and maybe bring it together just a little bit more with one more row. That is what I am thinking, so I will show you what I'm going to do. So we ended on the opposite side that I want to start on, so I'm going to cut my yarn and I'm going to start on the other side. Just going to pull that through, finish that side off that way. Then I'm going to start back on this side because I don't want to do back post double crochets. I want to do fronts. So I start back over on the end that we started on to begin with. I'm going to go into that end stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to chain 2 here, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in that same stitch that I just chained 2. Now in the next stitch right here, I'm going to do a front post. After we do that front post double crochet, I'm going to put 2 regular double crochets right here. 1 and 2. Not in this stitch, but the next stitch, a front post double crochet. And then right here, 2 regular double crochets. Not the one that my thumb is on, but this one, front post double crochet. And then this one right here, 2 regular double crochets. Not the one my thumb is on, but this one, front post double crochet. And right here, 2 regular double crochets. Now let's take a look at that because I think that gives it a nice interest, but it also doesn't make it pucker. So I think that is perfect for this. So I'm going to keep working like that. Not this stitch, but this one, the front post. And then the one right here, 2 doubles. I'm going to work like that all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you in just a moment. As you are coming down to your last few stitches here, instead of putting 2 behind this front post double crochet, I'm going to do 1, and then do a front post in the next one. And then do 1 double crochet in the last stitch there. And that will make it so that you don't get a big dip down on this side. If you pack too many stitches in, you're going to end up with a big dip down like that. And so if you just pull back on the stitches a little bit and don't put 2 in behind each post, you should be good to go. So I'm going to edge the arm just a little bit with a single crochet. I don't want to put a big flare on it, but I do want to put something on it. So I'm going to cut my yarn here and pull that through because I'm done with this now. If you want to do another row, you sure can. I think it would get pretty bogged down. Let's take a look at it real quick. So it is starting to ruffle because of the stitches and how they are laying, but I think that is nice. I'll show you on the model in just a little bit. It makes it look very finished this way, and I don't think a lot needs to be done here on the sleeves. That's up to you if you want to do something more embellished like this. I just think it would look a little, I don't know. I don't think I'd like it. So I'm just going to circle around the armhole here with a single crochet, and it already has a round of that because we finished each piece with a round of single crochet. So I'm going to pick up in the corner here, and I am going to do a single crochet in each stitch. So chaining 1 to secure, single crocheting in the next stitch and all the way around. When I get to the end, I'm going to slip stitch into that beginning one, and then I'm going to weave in all my ends, and then I will meet back up with you to take a look at our Cardi on my model. I think it is looking quite lovely, but I do want to put something around the bottom edge there just to clean it up a bit. So I'm going to go around that with a single crochet just like I did the arms. So as the garment is facing you, I am going to start with this corner right here. Starting with our edge here in the corner stitch. I join the yarn. I chain 1. I'm going to put a single crochet in the next stitch, which is a little different because this was our edging. So it isn't necessarily a stitch, but it's the side of a stitch. So just go in where it's comfortable. And then once you get down to your single crochets, go into each single crochet. And it does matter which side that you start on, because this is the right side of the work, so to speak. And as you're working your crochet stitches, if this is worked on the other side, it will look different. So depending on how the look you want, this is the way I want it to look, and that is the right side as it's facing us. If you were to put the stitches starting on the other end, your work would look like this as it faces you. So it may not matter to you, but that is why I'm starting at this corner. I am just going to go from this edge to the other edge over there, cut my yarn and weave in my ends. And then I will put it back on my model and we'll talk a little bit. And that is the finished Regina Cardi. You could take a tie, maybe tie right underneath of the bust. You could put some tassels on that and it would give it a boho vibe. You could belt it. You could put sleeves on it. You could do a lot with this. This is just pretty much a starting point. I thought it would be nice to make something that you could throw on over, you know, to layer and just keep the chill away. And you can also add more rounds or rows to the midsection there if you want a more overlapping look, but that's not what I wanted for this piece. Our daughter is actually smaller than this mannequin, so it will fit her a little more loosely. So that is why I made this one the way I made it. I'll give you a quick look at the back of it. That is the back side. You can see the patterning really well on that. You can see the color change in the yarn. It's very beautiful. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I appreciate you. Until next time, guys. Bye.